you doing, Coach?
Keon was saying listed as a starter. Just what has he done through the fall and the spring that has earned him that nod?
Been very consistent, day in, day out. You know, kind of biggest thing you look for is not just ability, but dependability. He had a good spring, and then he took that into the summer and came through fall camp as one of the most productive guys in that run on a daily basis. So excited for him. You know, he's really come a long way and dealt with a lot, you know, on and off the field with injuries, and so he's in a good spot. We're excited to see him play.
For a head coach, what's the most worrisome part of an opener, going into an opener each year?
I don't really think it's worrisome, you know. I mean, there's just things you don't know. You're just going to have to be ready to adjust, you know. It's the unknowns, not just from your opponent, but you have guys playing that haven't played, you know. And so I'm excited to see those guys play, but, you know, you have to be ready. The what if, then this reaction as a coach is just kind of where you're at. Really, the first 2 or 3 games, it kind of feels that way.
Would you like to see this be a 7 o'clock kickoff, or these two fan bases that might be a little bit dangerous?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about dangerous, but yeah, I mean, it would have been great to play at night, you know, not only from a TV standpoint, but because of the weather and all the things that go into that. But, you know, they don't ask my opinion on game time, so it is what it is.
You've talked a lot about communication, consistency, and getting the guys lined up with the veterans on the team. Do you feel like you guys have done that enough throughout practice in preparation for this game?
Yeah, you know, I think with the experienced roster like we have, there's a couple things you look for. One, the maturity on the field while they're playing, understanding situational football. You know, as the chains move, they understand the down and distances are changing, the field positions are changing, and they're not just running plays. You know, they understand how the game flow works and all that. The other thing is you look at how they are when they're not in. You know, are they helping the guys that are in? You know, are they coaching them, or are they just got their head down drinking water? So I think those are both things that you look for from a mature team, and we've seen a lot of that in our camp and practices.
At what point did you realize that you guys really had something with Drew Pitts?
Well, Coach Gibson worked with him, you know, at a prior school, so he already had that feel about him. And then I watched film on him at Marshall, very aggressive player. As a football player, he can do a lot of things. He's a good special team guy as well. So it didn't take long. I mean, he was kind of what we thought he would be, you know, from his film.
How much contact work did Peyton Wilson get in the fall? And did you have to limit him at all, or just let him go?
No, we limited him. He did get tackling. He got, you know, below delivery contact every day that we were in pads for the most part. He didn't take every rep. You know, all these guys that are coming off of major injuries, or they're guys that have a lot of reps banked. I've talked about that. You know, we looked at how many reps they need, so he got what he needed.
I know you spoke the other day about 2019, and you're even critical of yourself as a coach during that season. But then, how essential was it to have Ruff added to the staff that offseason, and then, you know, maybe help you in ways that you didn't have before?
Yeah, I mean, I had another head coach on my staff prior with Ted Roof, you know, and that was great for me to have someone like that. And that's kind of where first time I've had that as a coach. And then Ted left, and so that 19 season I didn't have that, and I could tell I needed somebody, whether he was an active coach or off the field guy, that I could just go to and talk with. And then it happened to be a guy that was a mentor and close friend. It worked out. Couldn't have been a better fit for me, and then obviously for him, location-wise.
I know you talked about it a few times, including the all access, but you know, you've known Ruff for so many years, but you already have that bond. But how special is it? More so of a bond too, just what the challenges you two are going through right now with your families and your own fathers?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of a unique piece of it that I really didn't think a lot about. I mean, I thought about him and his dad. At that time, my dad wasn't as far along, and it's accelerated quite a bit in the last 24 months. But it definitely gives us common ground on another thing that we do, you know. So, you know, Ruff's great to have for so many reasons, and just the personal side of it. You know, being able to talk about our dads and understand that part of our lives too is just another plus.
What are you telling your players going into one of these final days of practices before this opener?
Just to keep preparing, you know. I mean, you're never completely ready for a game. You can always watch something else on film. You can review a practice and see things, you know. You can go through your call sheets and talk with your teammates, you know, get with your coaches, and really the recovery that we ask of these guys now is paramount, you know, getting in the cold tubs and the stretching and hydration, all the things that they need to be feeling great when they get to Saturday.
Sounds good, guys.
All right, thank you.